Hi guys, Lindsay here with Storybook Family Farm. Yesterday was such a nice day outside. I was so glad to be able to be outside the whole time. It was actually almost 80 degrees out, so I was actually running around in shorts for a good part of the day, which is kind of crazy for March. It's actually getting ready to storm pretty bad here, but so what I got done yesterday was actually pulled out every single tap that I had in the maple trees. So that is nice to have that completely done. And then I also cooked down the last little bits of the sap. Everything's in the house now doing like its final countdown type thing to turn into syrup. So that's really nice to be able to have that much time back of my own, to not have to keep running up in the woods, making several trips up, the super steep hill there, and carrying, several gallon jugs full. Honestly, it's been more taxing on my hands than I think my legs, honestly. Like, as silly as that sounds, like my thighs are really sore from having to go up and down so many times. But like, I keep having serious flares up of like carpal tunnel in my hands from carrying so many gallons. That's why I keep saying that I need to, before next year, before I do this again, I need to come up with a much better system or get a four-wheeler or do something different to make it so that way there's not so much grunt work on me. But the other thing that I did was I also started working on taking apart the eyesore of the dog kennel here. So this, if you guys remember, this was actually where we had the turkeys when we first got turkeys when we first moved here. We had them in there, and then over the years we had chickens in there. We've had some ducks and geese in there before too. Just pretty much everything. We just made do with what was already here, which is a really good idea to do, because when you're first moving to a place, you kind of have a bit of a crunch to, especially if you're moving with animals, to try to get infrastructure in place as fast as possible. So some things might look a little janky and they might look a little redneck, but it's okay. But so for this here, I'm actually going to have to use the grinder to cut the bars apart because they're rusted together. They're really mangled from trees, limbs coming down on it and stuff. So I'm gonna end up just scrapping the entire thing. This one here is in better shape, so I might try to see if somebody wants to like come take it apart themselves, to use it as like a dog kennel or even a chicken coop or something of the sort, because this one here is still in decent shape. So I got that all taken apart as best as I could. I ran out of steam yesterday. It was a long day of doing a lot of different work outside. That thunder is really starting to roll in. But so the other thing that we got going on this weekend is we're actually having somebody come out to take a look at and give us a quote to remove the 2 black walnut trees that are right by the house there. So fingers crossed everything is affordable, because we're trying to get this done before the septic gets installed, just because of the fact that literally where somebody would cut the trees to come down at is going to land exactly where the new septic is going to be at, where the leach lines are going to be at, and we don't want future problems with the tree roots coming in or doing anything like that. So other things that I've been doing this past several days is actually just working on doing general cleaning up. As you guys know, our property had a ton of trash everywhere when we bought this place. So yesterday I also spent some time picking up more glass and more trash that's right next to the driveway, because that's where smart people burn trash. It's been something that's been a big struggle for me actually with this property, is just how much broken glass there is everywhere. And it's kind of surprising that none of our webbed-footed, like our waterfowl, none of them have cut their feet open. But the chickens, basically, they like to come over in this area right beside the driveway there and just keep digging and digging and digging and digging and kicking up more and more glass and things of that nature. So, it's not fun. But so hopefully everything this weekend goes well. I have my fingers crossed that that the trees are going to be affordable to take down. I know that is something that can be extremely expensive, and we just simply do not have the money for that. And we don't really want, because of how close they are to the house, we don't really want just some redneck coming over and hee-hawing it and hoping for the best. So anyways, that storm is definitely rolling in, so I'm going to cut this off here because I don't really feel like getting soaking wet. I got up extra early this morning to do chores before it started raining for a reason. So plus I'm a little scared of storms. So anyways, thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.